Hi, hello. We are live, aren't we? Yes, we are. So I hope you had an amazing week, and I hope my last week's reading was helpful for you. So this week was, in my opinion, definitely a little bit more quiet than the week before. Let's see what this week brings, shall we? So I hope you're all ready. And yes, how about we getting started right now? Good. I Ching weekly roadmap, daily hexagram forecast and advice. That's what we're doing here. And if you ask yourself what the is I Ching, well, it's a forecast method of the Chinese metaphysics. It has been used for thousands of years. It's based on trigrams and hexagrams and ultimately on the five elements, which you may or may not know from the Feng Shui. I personally use it a lot. And I must say, I'm very, very grateful for this tool. Yes. So this is my weekly forecast, my weekly I Ching reading for you. 2024, week 31 already, isn't it? Oh my God. And we're here every Sunday live. This is live, 6:15 p.m. Brisbane time. 8:15 New Zealand, 10:15 Germany, and the Americas are fast asleep. You can have me for breakfast if you want to. So yeah, what we do here is we're looking into the energies according to the I Ching, the energies of the year, the month, and then every single day. Because if we know what's coming, it's so much better for us to respond to that. And you can also work with your energies and you can see how you can raise your energy on that certain day. That's what we're doing here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there are chapters down here in the notes. So you can come here on the day in the morning and say, hey, what did Sandra say? What are the energies today? What best today? How to raise my energies today? How to make this a successful day? Good, because that's what I'm actually doing. I'm going to start listening to myself. So how do we raise our energies this month? And the month energy is 38 opposition. And you heard me, year energy. And the year energy is 38 opposition. And you heard me talk about that a lot. And 38 is not just opposition, it's also division and polarizing. And that's what we're having in the world, isn't it? So how to tolerate the otherness of the counterpart in conflicting times. And we're coming back to that later as well, by the way. The month energy is still 6 litigation, and that one we talked about a lot also in the past. So I'll make it really short. It's conflict. So it's about how to deal with situations where the involved parties are drifting apart. So this last month really worked into the year energy. So if something was supposed to drift apart, it would have drifted apart even heavier this month. But what happened last month, what happens is we're changing, and the changeover is interestingly, from the 6th to 7th, we're changing from 6 conflict to 7, which is called officer or also the army. And I have a few other words for that as well. And what it means is really, you remember this last month. So until and including the 6th of August, we're having a metal goat month. And we're having 6 conflict, arguing, engagement in conflict, how to deal with a situation where the involved parties drift apart. And we're moving on the 7th, we're moving to what is generally called officer or the army, but I also call it bringing together. Can you see there's maybe a shift happening? I so hope it does, seriously. It's also about strategy. So the coming month is also about strategy and teamwork, because an army has to work together. Otherwise, it's not getting anywhere, correct? If they march together, they will get somewhere. But if they're not marching together, it's not taking them anywhere. So how to bring many different impulses and directions into one common goal. So maybe this month, the month of the water monkey, we will start seeing that people start thinking, this whole fighting stuff is just tiring, exhausting. How about we look if we can work together? That would be so, so awesome. That would be so liberating. That is this month's energy. And if you're working with the 5 elements, you can also see how from the metal goat towards the water monkey, how there is stuff changing. And of course, it depends on your main element. If you have, for instance, a wood element, this month will, and a weak wood element, it will strengthen, it will strengthen your wood element, but that's totally different. We're staying with the I Ching for today and for here. We're staying with the I Ching. So that's the month. And I probably will do number 7 a bit more in depth next month. Cool. So, what's today's energy? Sunday. Today's energy is 42 increasing. So, what is increasing? Well, that's on you to decide. If you've been arguing and fighting, then probably that is increasing. But actually, what is, you can increase whatever, your strength, your whatever it is that you want to increase. The energy today, Sunday, is about increasing. So it's wind on thunder. And if you've been following me a while, the wind is gentle, the thunder not so much. So it's a little bit, how do we, and thunder also means getting into action. So it also means, how do we get into action and strength, but in a gentle way? So how to multiply your own success by willingly sharing with others. That is how you can come into action in a gentle way by the rising tide lifts all the boats. That is today's Sunday's energy. And also thinking about your why you're doing this. If you want to serve the community, brilliant. This is your day. That's what we're doing today. Awesome. So Monday, what's Monday's energy? Let me have a look. Oh, yes. Okay. 36, the dimming light. And that's exactly what it is. That's how it looks like, the dimming light. It's also called brightness hiding. And I like brightness hiding a little bit more than dimming of the light, because dimming of the light feels a little bit Kafka-esque. It feels a little bit like, oh my God, the light is gone. No, it's still there. It's just hiding. You know, if you know my little essay about the perspective of life, then it's brightness hiding. And sometimes there is a reason to hide your brightness. And some of you will know what I mean. So it's earth, the receptive on fire. So I call it how to protect one's own core through acceptance when one's own development is blocked. So if you find tomorrow, Monday, that you've been like treading in water, working against the wind, whatever the metaphor is for you, maybe it's just accepting the situation right now as it is to really protect your core and just hold still. Fire is not just danger, it also means clarity. So if you keep your clarity in a potentially dangerous situation, you will come out on the other side so much better. That's the energy for tomorrow. Because when you feel that there's darkness around you, it's about the acceptance. And we all know it's just temporary. This too shall pass. So if you find yourself tomorrow in a little bit of a not so easy situation, just stay true to yourself and stay clear. And that's when you're hiding your brightness. Sometimes it's just better to do that. Sad. I think it's sad. We should never have to do that. But sometimes it's quite okay to hold still and just say, and just think, well, it's okay. This too shall pass. Cool. So the question is that you can ask yourself tomorrow morning is, what is it that you need to accept to succeed? So we're talking about success. So what brings you forward by accepting tomorrow, Monday? Ask yourself. Cool. How do we raise our energy and be successful on the Tuesday? Tuesday is in the I Ching number 13, fellowship with men. Partnership also. It's heaven on fire. So what do we do with heaven on fire? So how every single one in a group can develop their talents and capabilities in the powerful field of community. So none of us lives on their own. I've read a really nice Zen story about that yesterday, and I'm not quoting it here, but it's really nice. How we cannot be on our own. We're living in a community, whether we like it or not. And in this community, we can develop our talents by serving others in the fellowship together with others. Of course, we can first strengthen our skills by ourselves. Yeah, that's true. Of course we can. But then why do you want those skills? Why do you have those skills? Why are you learning, studying? if you don't want to bring them to a use. And the best use is really to serve others and to help others then. And again, we had that before with the rising tide lifts all the boats, correct? So that's what you're supposed to do on the Tuesday, community. How do we raise our energy to lift all the boats on the Wednesday? And remember, on the Wednesday, we're changing from 6 conflicts to 7 officer, army working together. So there's a shift all between those days. So, and the Wednesday itself is a 54, the marrying maiden. And if you watched me before, you know that this is not really one of my favorites, but that also means I can learn a lot from that. So if there's an I Ching for us where I think, that sounds weird, it's probably something that you want to work on and will benefit you to grow. Everything where we have a resistance is something that we can use to grow. And that's just what it is. So the marrying maiden is thunder on lake. How to give into a situation of dependency without denying or losing your own core. So the marrying maiden is in a depending situation, and the thunder on the lake, the thunder is something really strong, and the lake is rather, here I am. So there's something where you need to wait until the thunder is gone. You have to accept that the thunder is there, and that you're depending on the community, other people, your boss, and whatever. But even in the dependency, you must not lose your own core in yourself. So this is what exists in this world, that we are depending on others. Like we said before, the fellowship, we live with others. We cannot be on our own. We are human beings and we work together. We're social animals, aren't we? I hope you all are. So accepting that dependency and not losing your core within it. That is what we're doing on the Wednesday if we want to be successful. Doing what is necessary to be successful. Wonderful. Thursday. On the Thursday, how do we raise our energy? Well, we've got the theme of the year on the Thursday. 38, integrity, opposition. I call it integrity because the polarizing, the division, the divergence that we're having there, it's fire and lake. So we have a point that works against each other. And as I told you before, it's how to tolerate the otherness of the counterpart in conflicting times and stay true to yourself. Can you already see that there is a theme this week about staying true to yourself, protecting your core? So maybe in the last 2 weeks, remember, there was a lot about values, wasn't it? So maybe in the last 2 weeks, you did find your values, and now it's about maybe hiding it on the Monday, brightness hiding. Maybe you need to just protect your core. Maybe you need to do what is necessary, but that does not mean that you have to lose your integrity. And that is what I mean when I'm looking into opposition. It's about integrity. You can still be there. So again, how to tolerate the otherness of the counterpart in conflicting times and stay true to oneself. Stay true to yourself. So it's about coming into the doing, but with your own values and what is right for you. And this is how you're going to be successful on the Thursday. And what to do on the Friday. Friday is 5 waiting. And it's also called uninvolvement. So it does not mean doing nothing. It means waiting for now. Okay. So waiting for now, which also means you are ready. But you're still waiting because it seems it's not yet the time. It also has its meaning in nourishment. So what do you still need to nourish before coming to action? So we're not yet coming to action, but we're waiting, but we are ready. But there is still something we need for us on the Friday. What is nourishing you? How to face the tests after being prepared for an occurrence. So you are prepared, you are ready, but energy tells you still it's not time to come into the doing. Still something, a skill or something nourishing, something that strengthens you is still needed. So Friday is a lot about patience. And it's a sentence I read yesterday. It's just amazing. Infinite patience brings ultimate results. And that is just, it's just amazing. For me, that is the thing, because patience is not really my thing. But this sentence makes so much sense. Infinite patience brings ultimate and quick results. Wayne Dyer, by the way. And I love this, because why not? So we're still waiting, we're still feeding, we're nourishing, but we are ready to get started. We're just listening to a few more feedbacks. Maybe we're still preparing the path or something. We are ready. We're just waiting for the signs to get started. Cool. Saturday, how do we raise our energies? How are we successful on the Saturday? Saturday has the 28 great exceeding. Doesn't that sound great? How to deal with big responsibility and extraordinary burden. So maybe this is why on the Friday we knew we were ready, but we weren't still not starting, because we first need to know how to deal with the big success. How to deal with this great exceeding. It is decision time. It is action time on the Saturday. On the Saturday, you can make your decision and get started. When you know how to deal with that and what to do with it, with the responsibility, with the action, it's going forward with and through your inner strength that you've collected, that you've nourished the days before. And what will help you, one thing that will help you with the decision making, by the way, think about the price that you pay if you do it, and then think about the price you pay if you don't. They're called opportunity costs. What is the worst that can happen if you do it? And what is the worst that can happen if you don't? Yes, it means responsibility. Action and decisions mean responsibility. But it also means going forward. So you can also make the decision. Of course, it's up to you, the decision to not go forward. Yeah. As long as it's a conscious decision based on what you've done before, totally fine. It's your life. It's your decision. But ask yourself, what is it? The price you pay if you do it, and the price you pay if you don't. Amazing. And then the Sunday, is one of my favorites. It is actually. So it's the number 18, and some call it poison. I don't. I stick to the original one, which is working on the decay. So working on the decayed is really repairing. It's mountain on wind. So it's stillness on the gentle. So it's like, that's me. That's fine. So working on the decayed, by the way, means also success, because whatever is decayed has been caused by humans. And when we're working on it, because it means we can see, feel, smell, whatever, that this is wrong, and then we're rectifying that. Gentle with the wind and stillness with the mountain. So it's not a thunder in there. We're not ranting about it. No. So how to develop one's own core. We've got the core again here, haven't we? By confronting yourself with your weakness, for instance, or someone else with their weakness. But again, gentle and with the stillness. And one thing I call it as well is, it's also working on the decayed for me, how to create your personal superpower out of your weakness. How to make your weakness your superpower. whatever it is that your weakness is, be it sickness, be it I don't know, not knowing, not being able to write, and not being to, I don't know, whatever your weakness is, it makes you unique, and it makes you, gives you an ability to teach others, to show others. So create your superpower out of your weakness. Look at it. Look at your weakness and what you can do with that. It's so much. It's so much you can do with it. Do that. What didn't work in your life? Looking back, what do you want to improve? Know your weakness and use it. Use it to get better. Use it to see it in others and help them get better. Create your superpower. Strengthen your core. What makes you you? What is it? Find it. Find it next Sunday. And strengthen that energy. And find your superpower and your success, because it's in there. It's in you. Always has been. Always will be. It's in you. Whatever you think is a weakness, other people may think, wow, this is so cool. Find it and create your superpower. Wow, this is an interesting week, isn't it? Oh my God, this is just really amazing. I love this week. I think there's going to be something coming up. I can see something coming up from you, seriously, because today is increasing. Tomorrow, dimming light, Monday, with hiding your brightness, not standing on a soapbox, but hiding your brightness. On the Tuesday, community fellowship with men. On the Wednesday, the marrying Maiden, doing what is necessary, whatever it is, do it, it's necessary. On the Thursday, the opposition, tolerate the otherness. Yes, please think about that. It's really necessary. And on the Friday, we've got the waiting. We know what to do. We are ready to get started, but it's still patience. And then on the Saturday, great exceeding. Yes, decision time, action time. Can you stand with the responsibility that the action brings with it? And on the Sunday, looking into, okay, what still needs improvement? What is my weakness? How can I create my superpower? You know what? Write me an email next week, Sunday. What is your superpower? What is your weakness? What is your superpower? Please do that. A comment, an email, whatever. I would love to hear what you found was your weakness and now is your superpower. I would love to hear that from you. And then I see you again next Sunday, right here. Have a fabulous week. Yay! Let's do this. Bye for now.